Hello viewers, my name is Kuldeep Singh. Welcome to my YouTube channel Technical Skills. Guys, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe this channel and please do hit the bell icon for latest updates. Hello viewers, if any one of you is interested in taking online or offline training, you can contact me on the number given on screen. You can call me or you can send me a WhatsApp message. Also, you can check my number in description of video. Thank you very much. Hello viewers, welcome again to this new PLC tutorial session. In this session, we will just cover up the practice examples of T-on timer. So without wasting any time, let's start with the question number 8. So this is example number 8. In this you can see on your screen. The question is, when first push button is pressed, output A, B gets on. After 5 seconds, when second push button is pressed, output C gets on for 7 seconds and output B gets off after 7 seconds. When third push button is pressed, output BC again gets on after 3 seconds. All outputs gets off on pressing stop push button. So this is a big question. We will just cover it parts by part. So in first part, it is when first push button is pressed, output A, B gets on after 5 seconds. So we will cover this part. Okay, let's go to the solution. When first push button is pressed, so as you all know that to make a latch we will use a binary bit. So this is first binary bit. Use the same binary bit here, and output A gets on after 5 seconds. So I will take a T-on timer. T4 colon 0, time base 1, PCT is 5. So as you all know that output A, B gets on after 5 seconds. So there are two outputs, all are getting on after 5 seconds. So I will take, so for after we will use a done bit, where the output is getting on after 5 seconds, after 10 seconds, we have to use a done bit. Okay, so let's take a output. So we will take two outputs, both are in parallel. So I will name it as A, and the second one I will name it as B. Correct. So this is the first part, that when first push button is pressed, output A, B gets on after 5 seconds. Correct. Now the second part is when second push button is pressed. When second push button is pressed, output C gets on for 7 seconds and output B gets off after 7 seconds. So let's do the on part first. So when second push button is pressed, output C gets on for 7 seconds. So I will do it in the last chunk. Okay, I will again make a latch for second timer. So this is second push button, I1 column 0.0 slash 1. So I will name it as second binary bit. I have to use a different binary bit. So I'll use the same binary bit to latch. I'll use a timer in parallel with this binary bit. T on timer for 7 seconds, T4 colon 1, and reset is 7 seconds. So output C is getting on for 7 seconds. You can see in question, when second output C gets on for 7 seconds. So where the output is getting on for 7 seconds, we have to use a TT bit. Where it is after, we have to use a done bit. So I will use a TT bit here, T4 colon 0, sorry 1 slash TT over here. Okay, and I will use output. This is C. Okay, and side by side output B gets off after 7 seconds. So output as C is getting on for 7 seconds, as C gets off, side by side output B also gets off after 7 seconds. So as you know that output B is getting off, so I have to use a NC to break this supply of for output B, and it is getting off after 7 seconds. So I have to use done bit of timer, this second timer, T4 colon 1. So I will give address here, T4 colon 1 slash DN. Okay, so when this done bit will get on, this will just turn off this output B. Okay, now the third part is when when the third push button is pressed, output BC again gets on after 3 seconds. So I have to use another push button, third push button, output BC again gets on after 3 seconds. So I will use it in the last rung. Okay, again I have to make a latch. I1 colon 0.0 slash 2, let name as third push button. Okay, B3 colon 0 slash 2, and same here, and I have to use a timer. So I will take a timer in parallel this binary bit. I will take a T on timer of 3 seconds, and when third push button is output BC again gets on after 3 seconds. So C is also off and B also off, so both are getting on after. So as you know, where the after use, you have to use a done bit. So I will use a done bit in parallel with this TT, so that it can give supply to output C. Okay, so I will take a done bit over here, T4 colon 2 slash DN. Okay, similarly I have to take a parallel done bit here, so that it can give supply to output B. Okay, so I will take a done bit here, T4 colon 2 slash DN. So what this will do, that this will just bypass that T4 1 slash DN NC, and it will give supply to output B. Okay, and the last part is all outputs gets off on pressing stop push button. So I have to take a stop push button, so that it can stop the unlatch the all the circuit. So I will use NC over here, T4 I1 colon 0.0 slash, let's name it as 3. So I'll stop here. Same I have to use over here, so that it can unlatch this also. Now we can check the result. force on, force off. You can see A and B gets on after 5 seconds, correct? When second push button is pressed, output B, C gets on for 7 seconds and output B gets off after 7 seconds. So both B and C will get off after 7 seconds. And when third push button is pressed, output B and C gets on after 3 seconds. You can see after 3 seconds B and C gets on. And when stop push button is pressed, all outputs gets off. So you can press stop in any rung. See, all outputs gets off on pressing stop push button. So this was the solution for question number 8. So let's move on to question number 9. When first push button is pressed, output A, B, C gets on after 5 seconds. When second push button is pressed, output C gets off for 7 seconds and output B gets off after 7 seconds. When third push button is pressed, output B, D again gets on after 3 seconds. All outputs gets off on pressing stop push button. So we have read the question. Now we will go stepwise. Okay. So first step is when first push button pressed, output ABC gets on after 5 seconds. So let's move on to the solution. So let's delete this. Take a new one. Okay. So on pressing first push button, output ABC gets on after 5 seconds. So I will start with the latch. So first T4:0 and I will take a 5 seconds. So this is the latch for timer, and now in the second rung I will use a done bit because ABC gets on after 5 seconds. So for after I will use a done bit T4:0/DN and I will take 3 outputs in parallel because ABC 3 outputs are getting on simultaneously. So I will take all 3 in parallel. So let's name them, address them O0. So this is, let it be A, and second let it be B, and let it be C. Okay. So this is the first part. When first push button is pressed, output ABC gets on after 5 seconds. Second part, when second push button is pressed, output C gets off for 7 seconds and output B gets off for 7 seconds. Sorry, after 7 seconds. So when second push button is pressed, output C is getting on off for 7 seconds and output B gets off after 7 seconds. So let's take a second timer. Okay. So I will take another push button and I will make a latch with a binary bit again, and I have to take a timer also. Okay. So let's start addressing. Second push button. Binary bit. And I have to take a timer in parallel with this binary bit. T on timer for 7 seconds. So what after this? Output C gets off for 7 seconds. So output C is getting off for 7 seconds. So I have to stop this output C. So I will use a NC and I will use a TT bit because it is getting off for 7 seconds. So I am using a TT bit over here, and output B is getting off after 7 seconds. So I am using a done bit, NC of done bit over here. Okay, so you can see the difference that C is getting off for 7 seconds, that's why I am using NC of TT, and B is getting off after 5 seconds, so I am using a done bit NC. Okay, what is the last part? When third push button is pressed, output BD again gets on after 3 seconds. So I have to make another push button. Last rung I will use a push button, I will make a latch. The third push button. Two. Same over here. Now timer in parallel with this. T on timer T4:2. And this is for 3 seconds. And what is happening next is B and D gets on for 3 seconds. So B and D should again get on after 3 seconds. So that is after, so I have to use a done bit, but that is NO because it is not getting off, it is getting on. So it is getting on, so I have to use NO in parallel with this NC of done. Okay, so it will bypass the supply to output B. Now also I have to take it with the C also. Sorry, B and D is not C, it is B and D. So I have to use a D, make a D, so D will be the last rung. Okay, so I will take a done bit in last rung. Wait for a moment. Yes, now I will take a done bit over here, T4:2/DN. Okay, and I have to take output D. Okay, so and the last part is all output gets off on pressing stop push button. So I have to use a stop push button, a stop NC in front of every latch. So name it as stop. So here we finish the solution. Now let's go online and check the result. Okay, when first push button is pressed, output ABC gets on after 5 seconds, correct? Okay, I have to switch off also. When second push button is pressed, output C gets off for 7 seconds and B gets off after 7 seconds, you can see. Okay, now when the third push button is pressed, what is happening is B and D gets on after 3 seconds. Okay, so let's switch on output third push button, force on, force off. See, after 3 seconds B and D gets on. Now on pressing stop push button, all outputs gets off. Correct? So this is the solution for example number 9. So keep practicing, keep learning. Thank you very much. Hello viewers, if any one of you is interested in taking online or offline training, you can contact me on the number given on screen. You can call me or you can send me a WhatsApp message. Also you can check my number in description of video. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please subscribe this channel. Also hit the bell icon for latest updates. Please give this video thumbs up and do share it with your friends. Also please comment below how do you like this video. If you have any questions, please comment below. I will definitely answer your questions. Thank you very much.